Hi everyone. Earlier today I saw Ben Padden from Port Center do a video basically updating his viewers on why there haven't been very many videos from him recently, and basically keeping everyone up to date on the situation of things that have kept him busy. And while I was watching that video, I realized that I kind of haven't really been keeping you guys in the loop as to why my own videos have been taking so long. So I decided I'd do a video blog, probably one of the first video blogs I've ever done, and tell you guys what's going on. So let's start with, well, first of all, if you've been following me on Twitter or Tumblr, you probably already know what I'm about to say. But if you don't, which I think is probably the bulk of my YouTube audience, given that I have almost 8,000 subscribers on YouTube and maybe 500 Tumblr followers and 500 Twitter followers. But so let's start at the top. I've promised you, well, you know about one video in particular. I said that after I was done with the Sonic Boom video review, I'd get on to the second Sonic Boom glitch montage called Sonic Goes Boom, and that hasn't come out. I think I put the original video out sometime in like February, March, January maybe? I don't know, I don't remember. If you follow me on Tumblr, you also know that at one point I promised a Game of the Year video, and that also isn't out. It's almost July, so I'm like debating on whether or not I should even do it, but I promised it, so I should go through with it. And then, I don't think I ever really told anyone much about this, but I'd actually planned on having a Jurassic Park video out by now to kind of coincide with the movie. That's nowhere near done. I never even started on that video because everything else kind of preempted everything else. So why haven't there been any of these videos that I promised you? Well, if you can't tell, I've been kind of busy. In my notes here, I didn't exactly write everything down chronologically, but I suppose it all started probably early March. I started doing this job training program, which had me do volunteer work at a thrift store for 2 to 3 days a week. I think it was something like 15, 20 hours, 25 hours, something like that. That almost immediately got preempted by me also going back to school a little bit to get a further education and maybe help me find maybe a little bit better jobs in the future. So I've been going to like a learning center like 2 towns, three towns over. It's kind of a far drive. And then not long after that, weddings. People are getting married. My cousin got married. I went to her wedding, which you wouldn't think is like this big deal. But, you know, I'd never been to a wedding before. I'm not really much of a party person, if you can't tell already. And it was kind of like, it was just weird leading up to that, how stressful it was for me a little bit. That sounds kind of lame to say, I know, but again, not much of a party person. But it was a cool experience. I liked going to the wedding. That was fun. I had my first alcohol there, which was interesting, and I don't know, everyone who says they have alcohol for the first time says it's kind of it's an acquired taste. And I have not acquired that taste yet. So, it was kind of like this a little bit. Right after the wedding, I got this would be late May, early June. I got this, was it late May? I think. Wait, was the wedding in April? I don't remember, actually, come to think of it. But not long after the wedding, I got this, like, just this really nasty summer cold. And that stuck with me like 2.5 weeks. Like, it was bad. I lost my voice for a couple days. It was like, every couple days, it was like I had a new symptom, right? Like, it started out as me feeling just really dizzy and tired and sore skin. And then I'd have like this, basically like a sinus infection. And then I got this sore throat and this really bad cough. And it almost looked like pink eye at one point. And then by the end of it, kind of like it moved into my ears and sort of became an ear infection. And I'm still kind of, my hearing's still a little bit weird. And every now and then I still break into like this really bad coughing fit. So I'm still, even now that it's almost July, I'm still getting over this cold. And it was bad. I haven't been that sick in a long time. Like, since high school, I haven't been that sick. After the wedding and the cold, I dovetailed right into a week of jury duty service. And that was also pretty rough. Not only was it like a 2-hour commute round trip, it was a week long, almost a week long. We were expected to go 5 days and we ended up going a day short. But it was this really nasty sexual assault case where there wasn't really any evidence of anything. Like, there wasn't any DNA evidence, there wasn't any physical evidence of any kind. It was just this kind of really rough he said, she said sort of thing, and we had to listen to all this really just like nasty testimony, crying women and psychologists and endless cops and nurses, and the DA's office was there and they testified. And it was weirdly exhausting in a way you wouldn't expect. Like, you're just sitting there and listening to a person, and you wouldn't expect it to be this stressful, exhausting thing, and it was. I'm surprised at how that jury service affected me. And now that I'm in the clear of all this stuff, in a couple days I have to leave for my brother's wedding in Nevada. And once I get to Nevada, I'm going to be there for 2 weeks. I'll be house sitting for my brother while he's on his honeymoon. And my brother's the type of person who doesn't have internet, he doesn't have cable TV, he doesn't have a computer. So I'm going to be sitting up there basically in the middle of nowhere in Nevada with nothing. Nothing but the tablet I'm recording this on right now. I'm going to be loading it up with a bunch of videos and anything else I can think to entertain myself, because I'm not going to have anything. He can't even really sightsee because he doesn't live near Vegas. I don't even think he lives near Reno. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be fun. Going to have a lot of time to think, a lot of time to draw. But yeah, if you've been keeping track, that's been like, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month here, 2 weeks there. Basically, that's what I've been doing for the last 4 months, is all of this junk. And I'd love if I could have more time to put together these videos, but I haven't. I've had a few days in between here and there where, I've had time to myself, I've had time to be creative, to relax, and I just haven't felt like doing a video at that point. Now, that's not to say that I haven't done anything. We'll get to that in a moment. But the original plan for me was that 2014 was basically felt like one long marathon of me putting together 3 or 4 video reviews. And that got to be kind of tiring. I kind of didn't want to do video reviews for a little while. So I figured at the end of February, maybe it was the beginning of February, I don't know, but I'd take a break and recharge my batteries for, we'll say, about a month. And then sometime in March, I'd hit the ground running, and I'd finish all the videos I told you guys I was going to do. I was going to do the Game of the Year video first, because that was the most time sensitive, and then I was going to get onto the second Sonic Boom video, and then I was going to get onto this Jurassic Park video. And they were all supposed to be out by now. And then all this other stuff hit. Everything I just told you about. My cousin's wedding, job training, thrift store volunteering, the summer cold, jury duty, and now this 2-week vacation in Nevada. I will probably do my best to come back, do what I can on these videos in July when I get home. Something else to give you an idea of how busy I've been. This might be a bad example, it might not be, but Chrono Trigger's 20th anniversary was in March, right? And on the 20th anniversary, which was like March 3rd or something, I started up a new game of Chrono Trigger on my DS. And I'm still playing that game of Chrono Trigger. I've been too busy to actually play that. I think I'm like 15 hours into the game, and it's taken me 4 months to play 15 hours on that game. If you know Chrono Trigger, it's not a long game. You could finish it basically in a weekend if you really tried. And I've been playing it for 4 months. But don't worry. Things, like I said, are coming along. For the Game of the Year video, I've recorded more than half of it. I think there's only just a couple odds and ends on the side that I need to double check and record and convert and get ready for editing. I have the script all written, though I should probably go back and rewrite that now, given that I rewrote it. I originally wrote it 4 months ago, and some of the stuff in there needs to be changed. I have new shirts on my Redbubble. I've been meaning to tell you guys about this for a really long time. You'll notice I'm wearing the Better Late Than Never Video Games logo shirt. I don't know if the camera's really picking up on that. It took me a while to get it situated to where it wasn't like cutting off my head. It might still be cutting off my head. I'm not sure. But I'm wearing a Better Late Than Never Video Games shirt. The one that's on the Redbubble store right now is actually better than this one. I wasn't really thinking about a black TV on a dark blue background. So the shirt on the Redbubble has an outline around the TV, so it's easier to see the TV. Yeah. I also have, if you saw my Sonic Boom video review, I have art prints from that. I have t-shirts. I have the Neckbeard t-shirt. There's like book bags and notebooks and even duvet covers if you, for some reason, want that. What else? I debuted a new shirt called the Game Professional. That's probably going to be the next shirt I buy for myself. If I'm being honest, that's, I really sat down and I thought, okay, I don't know if I really like the shirts that I've made. So if I'm going to make a shirt that I want to buy, what shirt is it going to be? And the shirt that I made is the Game Professional. And I think it's a pretty cool shirt. Hopefully you think it's a pretty cool shirt. What else have I done? I submitted a book pitch to Boss Fight Books. Hopefully I will be writing a book in the future. The book submission period ended at the end of May, but I think I was rejected, but they haven't actually announced who they picked, so I'd like to think that they're still in the deliberation phase for all the book submissions they got. So maybe I'm still in the running, maybe I'm not, maybe I'll write a book in the future. I'm deliberately being kind of vague on what this whole thing is because, if I get rejected, I don't want to get people's hopes up for anything. But if you think really, really hard, you should probably be able to tell what the subject of my book would be. And if you subscribe to my Patreon, you probably already know what my book is going to be about, because I told everyone who pledged to my Patreon. They already know. And I also restructured my Patreon a little bit recently. There used to be a $15 tier that I called, Early Access Gold or something. And if you paid $15, you got early access to all the games I made. Like those 3 arcade games I made, which was Draconian, Space King, and Orbit Revolved. Those were all in there. It's source code for a bunch of my old games. All kinds of cool stuff like that. Recently, that $15 tier that I just told you about is now $5. So, now it's cheaper than ever to get my games. And I think I did the math once, and it comes out to something like 27 cents per zip file now. That might actually be cheaper than that. And more recently, I released, if you remember the After Dark screensaver with the flying toasters, I did a recreation of that recently, and you can get the source code for that on my Patreon. You can also just download it for free if you go to my Tumblr. I think actually that's it. That's all the stuff I wanted to update you guys on. I have notes down here. So, the video's coming. It's coming slowly, but it is coming. Things will be happening soon-ish. Give me a couple weeks to get this wedding out of the way. And and hopefully I'll fall into a groove with school and whatever else where I can get these videos done reliably. I was actually, hoping to push to get some of these videos out before I left for Nevada, but, well, for starters, jury duty happened, and it's kind of all tumbled it downhill from there. But, stay tuned. Things are coming. I haven't forgotten about you guys. I'm not trying to wriggle out of my responsibilities or anything. I am going to do these things. It's just taking longer than I'd hope. But yeah, thanks for watching. Thanks to all my Patreon supporters. I probably should have written your guys' names down on my notes here. But as you can tell, the page is kind of full, so there wasn't really room to write much of anything else unless I wrote it on the back like I probably should have. But let's see if I can remember the names of some of my Patreon donors off the top of my head. There was Brandon, there was Nolan, Rose, Christopher, Christian, Jack. Jack might have hidden his account or something. I don't think he was on the list last time I looked. Did I already say Matt? I don't remember. Setsune. Tom, of course. How could I forget Tom? I know Tom. Tom is a friend. That's 9 people out of, I think, 16 supporters? I think that's all I can remember for now. I'm probably going to put the names up on the screen here anyway, so that, no one's left out. Because that's important. Thank you, you guys, all of you. I said this before, but you really mean a lot to me. It's only like $50 a month, but, that's $50 more than I had before I had the Patreon. So, thanks a lot. We're inching closer on a new computer. Slowly but surely, it's happening. Well, assuming I don't have to spend all of my savings on a new lawnmower and renewing my ID and everything else. Expenses have cropped up this month, let's say. But yeah, thanks for watching the video. If you're subscribed, thanks for subscribing. If you're not subscribed, maybe consider subscribing for things that are coming in the future. Because I'm hoping there'll be great things. What else? I think that's it. I think we're ready to go. Follow me on Twitter and Tumblr if that catches your fancy. Or don't. I'm not gonna twist your arm. See you guys later.